has commented already. What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you so much for joining myself and Dustin for this being our review for 90 Day Fiance, Season 12, Episode 3. So we're 3 episodes into the new season. I am liking it so far. As I was telling Dustin before we started recording, as long as I don't see any Stacey or Darcy-esque type characters on the show, I can watch it. I can watch it with glee. Dustin, how are you doing today? Cool. You said you're all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing, excuse me, so good. So good. Y'all, I'm sorry. I just ate a burger and fries, so excuse me if the gas comes flaring up. But anyways, a couple things I want y'all to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So why don't you go ahead and mash it for a brother. Also, be sure to press the thumbs up button for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various couples we're discussing on tonight's show. I believe we have either 6 or 7 couples to get through. So it might be a long review, you guys, but we'll get through it either way. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but certainly not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. Quick 2 announcements really quickly. I will be releasing my review for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 11 episode 4 right after this video goes off. I'll record it. I'll record it right after this. I get through with this 90 Day Fiance review. So that will be out at least by 8 p.m. tonight. At least by 8 p.m. tonight, my RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 11 episode 4 review will be up. And tomorrow, I will be releasing my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, the new episode that came on last night. I will be releasing that tomorrow as well. We got a couple comments here. Dustin says hi. Hello to Dustin. And then we have Lady Robin. And then we have Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin says, hi, y'all. I'm feeling extra judgy today. That might spell some trouble for some of these couples we're talking about tonight. And then also, Auntie Robin says, I've been binging on Judy Justice all afternoon. Auntie Robin, when I tell you Judge Judy is my favorite, and she's my favorite TV judge of all the times. I watch her clips all the time. There are full episodes of Judge Judy on YouTube. They're in like 1 hour or so compilations. I watch them all the time. And also, she's a fellow Libra. So, of course, I have to love Just Judy because she's that girl. Lady Virgo's in the building. Lady Virgo says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Lady Virgo. Thank you so much for being here, boo. And then Lady Virgo also says to Dustin Butler, JoJo Speaks, Auntie Robin, hey, happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day as well. Yes, happy Memorial Day to everyone. Of course, we don't take Memorial Day off, but hey, it is what it is. Memorial Day is a day that we honor those who are the fallen soldiers who have lost their lives on the. No, is that Veterans Day? Memorial Day for those who've lost their lives in combat. So, and with my dad being a Vietnam veteran, I'm sure he also takes this day very seriously. Auntie Robin says hello to Lady Virgo. And then Auntie Robin also says, I'm eating too. I made Rasta pasta heavy on the mushrooms. Gotcha. Okay, Auntie Robin, Rasta pasta. I need to try some Rasta pasta, y'all. I really do need to try some Rasta pasta. But anyways, let's get this thing started. Who do we want to start with? Let me see. Let's talk about the group, the couple that had the least to do on this episode, which is Katie and Josh. So Katie and Josh are dealing with the aftermath of his Welcome to America party that happened on the previous episode. And they also talked about Katie's drinking a little bit. And Josh was saying, this is someone that I look forward to having a child with someday. And I want to be with someone who is responsible, things of that nature. And Katie just does not seem to be that girl. And she definitely is not that girl. I mean, she's 26 years old. So I still think that she's still got time to get that kind of young person drinking, partying type thing out of her system. Not to say that it's a requirement for everyone to get that out of their system at a certain time, because there are a lot of people who are in the older age who like to go out and party and do their thing. And if that's you, so be it, do your thing. But I think Josh is in a place in his life where he's truly ready to settle down. And I think the key word for Josh is settling down, and I don't think that he and Katie are on that same page when it comes to wanting to settle down, get married, have kids. Katie just still wants to have fun, and that's okay, but that's only okay if you're with someone who's on the same page as you.
Right.
And Josh is looking for something real. Josh is looking for something that will last forever. And I
Mhm.
have a feeling that Josh, especially when we saw the preview in the first episode of Katie kissing another man in his presence at a club, I have a feeling that Josh is going to leave Katie by the end of the season. I just have that feeling. And I think that
Mhm.
it would be the right choice for Josh because I don't think Katie's ready to settle down yet. I really don't. Dustin, what are your thoughts on Katie and Josh?
I don't. So far, I'm not gonna say I don't like them. I just think they're gonna have a lot of ups and downs. Um, I think that this relationship might not last. I think at the end of the season, like I said, Jonathan said, I think me and Jonathan are both on the same page with this couple. It's definitely not gonna last not gonna last forever. I will say that. But I think they have two different. They're not on the same page at all.
Right. Yeah, they're not on the same page. And that's always going to be a problem when you're in a relationship. Auntie Robin says, I cannot stand her kissing anything that moves. Exactly. And every time they do their intro before they start their segment, of course they're kissing in the intro. And then Auntie Robin also says, I have changed my mind about Katie. I now believe her to be a certified alcoholic with nymphomania as a secondary diagnosis. Oh, Auntie Robin, HR is diagnosing the girls out here. I love it, Auntie Robin, because that she does seem like she might be an alcoholic. She does like to drink a whole lot, so it is what it is. Um, let's see here.
Hey, April.
Oh, April's here. Hi, April. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm so glad you joined us. April says, I agree, Auntie. All right. And then Auntie Robin says, Josh seems decent. He does seem decent. I do like Josh. Do you think that that was not that he was not able to get any playback in the UK? I feel like he has a measure of insecurity to deal with her. I would agree with that, Auntie Robin, because Josh isn't like aesthetically the most handsome person in the world. And to me, he doesn't necessarily have sex appeal. So I see what you mean, Auntie Robin, by saying maybe he wasn't getting any play in the UK. So he got with the woman um, from, from the UK to be with. So who knows? April April says that was April, and then Auntie Robin says, "Welcome, April. Thank you so much for welcoming April, Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin is the best HR ever,
Yes, she
ever."
is.
And then Auntie Robin has two more comments here. Let's get to it before we move forward. Auntie Robin says, I agree. She consistently talks about sex. Oh, I'm sorry. April said that. April said Katie consistently talks about sex. And yes, she does. And it's clearly a very important thing for Katie, April. And then April also says, I think he sees something we don't see in her as a viewer. I'm thinking that may be the case as well, April. It's just that I can't imagine what it is that drew him to Katie. I don't know if he just thought that she was a really pretty girl. I don't know if he just liked her personality. I don't get it. I don't get what urged him to want to be with Katie. And then lastly, Auntie Robin says, let's say that Katie chased Josh until he caught her. That could be it. That could be the case. I don't know. I just don't think that they go together. They're complete opposites, and that seems to be sort of a trend in this season of 90 Day Fiance, where we have a whole lot of opposites here,
Sure.
especially with Shay and Annabelle, with Marissa and Edward, with a whole lot of these couples. So it is. It makes it a little bit hard to watch, just a little bit hard
I,
to watch because it makes you think that they're not going to work out.
I pray for them to work out, but I hope and pray for the best, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. April also says, I feel for him though. He is blind, very blind, April, extremely blind. Well, I don't know if he's necessarily blind, but I think he's just allowing Katie to do certain things that make her happy while he just sucks it in and just swallows it up. And then April also says, I hope he moves on to better things. Absolutely. I agree with you, April. Josh needs someone that's sort of kind of on his level. And like I said, someone who wants to settle down because Katie's not here for settling down at all. So, it is what it is. So let's move on to, hold on. We got another comment from Auntie Robin. Let's read it. And then we will move forward to the next couple.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. April says Josh is naive. Yeah, he does seem to be quite naive. But the thing is, April, he literally sees everything that she's doing. And he's bringing these things up in conversations to address them so that they can possibly change in the future. But I don't know if Josh actually expects these things to change in Katie or if this is just wishful thinking. I can't put my finger on it just yet, but hopefully I'll be able to get a better grip on Josh's state of mind in this moment. Auntie Robin also says, anyone else watch the Quashir run that Quashir run uh that includes bonus screens? No, I have no idea what that is, Auntie Robin. I have no
I haven't
idea what
seen it
that
yet
is.
either.
So let's move on to our next couple. Who's it going to be? Let's talk about Marissa and Edward. So Marissa is talking to her ex-husband Michael. Michael is coming in to pick up the kids, and Marissa and Michael have a chit-chat conversation about Edward coming into her home. And Michael's his main issue is the kids. He doesn't want Edward to come, kind of infiltrate their circle. He's a little bit uncomfortable. He doesn't want him to not be to not to he doesn't want him to be a bad influence on his children, which is a great thing to keep in mind when you're a father. So I completely
Mm-hmm.
understand that. I like Michael. I like Michael a lot. I
So do
see.
I.
I can see him and Marissa together. I don't know exactly what made them break up. I don't. I can't remember if Marissa necessarily explained that in detail as to why it is that they're no longer together. But I like Michael a lot. And he said that he and Edward are going to have a man-to-man conversation when he gets over to America. And I believe him. I definitely believe him. I just hope that Michael doesn't start off the conversation in an aggressive tone so that Edward can
That's what I'm
understand that
afraid of.
he's so that Edward can understand that he's coming from a place of a father, and not someone who wants a problem with him. You know what I'm saying? I hope that it's I hope that it is cordial. I hope that they can both be mature men about this conversation, and I hope that it goes well. Now, whether Marissa and Edward will stay together is a whole nother question. But
Mm.
Edward did make it over to the States. It was his first time on the plane. He talked about putting up and down the window shade. And then someone who was sitting next to him asked, "Is this your first time on the plane?" And he said, "Yeah, it definitely is my first time on the plane." And of course, we also get back to the conversation of his now circumcised penis. Once again, like I have a big feeling that Marissa is the one that pushed Edward to get his penis circumcised because she said in the first episode that she didn't like uncircumcised penises. Now, once again, like I think I've said this in a review in the past, like I
Mhm.
get why people have that reaction to uncircumcised penises. However, for me, it is not an issue. Like it's not an issue whatsoever. But
Uh,
I don't know if that should stop you from pursuing someone. I don't know, but
no, it don't
he
matter to
gets
me. So
to he gets to
yeah.
America, and she gives him a gift, and the gift is a key to her house. In quotes, we'll put that in quotes, a key to her house, because she said that her house locks are all electronically automated, so she doesn't actually use a key, and the key doesn't actually work. I don't know what it was that made the producer asked her if the key actually worked, but they asked, and maybe she had told them. I'm not sure, but Edward and Marissa seemed to be very happy meeting at the airport. It was a nice reunion for the both of them. Um, I can hope that their relationship goes well. I can hope that all I want. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't
I
I
don't think
guess
it's gonna happen.
it's more that I don't want it to work out because I am not ready for those classist conversations that are obviously going to come up in the future. The fact that Marissa is a very wealthy woman, she lives in $1 million mansion, and Edward is a man that works at a hotel, and they're clearly on different sides of the financial spectrum. So it is what it is. Dustin, what are your thoughts on Marissa and Edward? Are you looking forward to Edward and Michael talking? And do you think that their relationship is going to last?
I don't think the relationship's going to last, and I also don't think that this talk is going to go well. I don't think that the because I think they're both on two different paths in their lives. I don't think it's going to go well. Period. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we'll have to see as it goes. But Edward seems like such a sweet guy. Like I think he's a very attractive man. I think he looks really really good. He seems to be a really nice man, a really nice and genuine man, which is why I don't understand why Michael seems to be so aggressive in his talks about Edward. But I guess it's because he doesn't necessarily know Edward, and hopefully once he gets to know him and meet him, he'll see that Edward means no harm. April says he could possibly be just in love with one side of her personality. And that could be it, April. But when you're looking to settle down with someone, I feel as though you have to like everything about your partner. Well, maybe not everything, but you have to like most of the things about your
Most of it.
partner. And Katie is already doing it's not a lot of things, but it's just one thing that she keeps doing, and that's her drinking and kissing everyone. And I don't think that Katie is willing. It's not that she can't do it, it's that she's not
Not
willing
going
to
to.
stop doing it. Auntie Robin says the Friday night showing has bonus scenes. Okay. I thought for sure that you watched Dustin.
What?
She said that when 90 Day Fiance comes on Fridays, they have bonus scenes.
Oh, I didn't see the bonus scene.
Yeah, I watch it on Amazon Prime, so I guess I just
I
see
don't.
what.
I don't get to watch it on regular cable. I have to watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah, yeah. So
So I don't see the bonus scenes. Sorry about that.
yeah. Auntie Robin says, "Hey Joe Nathan, what does your shirt say?" My shirt says everything looks better in AE jeans. Everything everything goes better with AE jeans. So I used to work at American Eagle, and I was a denim expert because American Eagle is mostly known for their jeans. I still have jeans in my closet that I bought back in 2010 when I first started working there. So American Eagle jeans are awesome. They are, I won't say, I'm not sure if they're necessarily the best, but I love AE
They
jeans.
are the
And so
best. I will say that they are the best. So.
they are pretty good for sure.
Mhm.
And so this is the shirt that I used to wear
They're better than Levi's.
I've never had a pair of Levi jeans a
They're
day
not.
in my life.
They're not. They're not. They're not. They're cheap. They're very cheap at this day.
Oh gosh. And Auntie Robin also says if you watched Friday, you would have learned. Here's what she is from a very wealthy family.
Mm.
He said that he never fit in. Oh, okay. She continued to talk about her if thens. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. This gas, y'all, is taking over me. Also, Auntie Robin says, oh, I'm sorry. April says, I think so too, JoJo. Yeah. Um, well, we'll see what happens with Edward and Marissa. And then Auntie Robin says, if my kids don't accept him, then it's oh yeah, then it's over. Things like that.
Mm.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And Marissa has the right to say all those things. Um, I just don't know how serious Marissa is with Edward. I don't know if she's really looking to get married to him one day and have him as her forever partner. I still can't put my finger on that. Auntie Robin also says the key was both disrespectful for sure and a flex, absolutely a flex for sure. Auntie Robin, I didn't even consider that disrespectful because the symbolism is lost. A flex because it speaks to the modernity of her wealth. Absolutely, it definitely does. It seems like she was showing off, and I didn't even pick up on that when I first saw it. Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin also says Michael didn't seem aggressive to me. He seemed very clear. I guess yeah. Let's see. Just when he said that, if he's a problem for my kids, then that's going to be a problem for you and him. Like I get why he's saying the things that he's saying the way that he's saying them. Like he's a very protective father, and he has
Mhm,
every right to be that. It's just that I don't want him to
mhm,
bring a negative energy to his meeting with Edward, so that they don't get the wrong idea of who each other are and who they
mhm.
are to Marissa. I don't
Right.
want. I don't want them to have a bad relationship because although I don't necessarily want Marissa and Edward to work out, I wouldn't want for Michael's reaction to who Edward is to be the reason why Marissa leaves Edward. I want it to be Edward's decision to leave Marissa.
I want it to be both of their decisions.
Yeah,
I think it would be better off, because I feel like the kids are not very comfortable with the situation. I can tell they're not very comfortable with Edward coming into their situation right now. I think that she needs to realize that, Jonathan. But we'll find out what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with this couple. To be
yeah,
totally honest with you, so
yeah.
I just think that I think the kids are not very happy, to be honest with you, and never in that situation.
I will admit it doesn't seem like the kids are too excited to meet Edward, but that's
Mm-hmm.
probably because they don't know him that well. And when you have this strange man moving into our home with us, it's like how are they supposed to react? So I do get it, and I hope that they do like Edward, but I just have a feeling that Edward is walking into a lion's den with
Thank
these
you.
people, and I'm
Yes.
I'm I'm just nervous for him. I really am. April also says, "Yes, it's a wrap for me with my kids, a flex, absolutely." And I'm so glad that you brought that up, Auntie Robin, because for her to give him a key that doesn't even open anything, she just wants to say, "Yes, I have the means to be able to give you a key because I can afford it and you can't." Like yeah, that's so disrespectful, Auntie Robin. You're so right. And Auntie Robin also says, you don't think that Marissa's commentary in is misleading, like she wants conflict. It does seem that way. It does seem like she's on this show to be a good cast member. She's on this show to bring conflict. She's on this show to have a good storyline, and I don't know how I feel about that at all. And I feel as though Edward is just an innocent bystander in all of this, which it's like, did she meet Edward? See, like, oh, he doesn't live in America. I can get on 90 Day Fiance and I can talk about my wealth and I can talk about my kids and I can talk about my ex husband. Like,
But
yeah,
she does that, she does the same thing on Say Yes to the Dress, and I can't stand, I can't stand it when people talk about their wealth on Say Yes to the Dress. That's my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Say Yes to the Dress. I'll say that right now, but I don't watch it. Mm, no,
yeah.
no, thank you. No, thank you.
Auntie Robin also says those boys know that their mom is a drama queen. Absolutely. She's definitely a drama queen. And she's like an innocent drama queen. Like she's not overt with her drama, but it's like right under the surface drama. And then when it comes out, I want to see what her reaction is going to be. And then April says, trust your kids. If they don't like him after meeting, it's a no. And I would agree with that because if you're bringing in someone into your life who's supposed to be there forever and they don't get along with your kids, how can it work out if they're
Mhm.
not grown? Now, if they are grown, then that's a different story. But if they're not grown, then it's just not going to work out at all.
Mm.
Auntie Robin also says, kind of like what's her name who wanted Beer Khan and Michael to fight over her. I will get to that in a moment, Auntie Robin, because there's another couple who I'm seeing that type of trend with. So
Who
we'll
would
get to
couple
that
that?
later. Because I don't think that Marissa wants Michael and Edward to fight over her because it doesn't seem like Michael's still interested in Marissa anymore. So, if Michael was still interested in Marissa and wanted to get back with her, I can understand that. But to me, Michael doesn't seem like he's interested in getting back with her. But there is another couple that I'm seeing that with, and we'll get to that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
April says, I agree, Auntie Robin. And then Auntie Robin says Shay. All
Shay.
right. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Does she say
Shay
Shay?
and Annabelle.
Shay. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, since you brought up Shay, Auntie Robin, then let's talk about Shay and Annabelle next. So Shay and Annabelle are still dealing with the bliss of the night before. They were able to get it in. Shay's happy that his member still works. She said, Annabelle said that she feels like a 19-year-old. I love Shay and Annabelle. To be honest, Shay and Annabelle are my favorite couple of the season so far because they are so real. Like they are two people who are both 54 years of age. They're both looking for the same thing. They both seem to have not necessarily the same interest, but the thing is, the way Annabelle treats Shay, she sort of treats him like her child in a way.
Yes, thank
And
you.
that
Mm-hmm.
sort of kind of goes with her tradition. Like that's how women from the Philippines apparently take care of their men now. We have seen quite a few women in the past from the Philippines who don't do that same thing. So I don't know if there's different traditions for different places in the Philippines, but she's dressing Shay. She's making sure that he looks good, putting on his underwear, putting on his socks, putting on his shoes, putting on a shirt, just literally dressing him head to toe. And I like that. I actually like that. A woman taking care of her man. I love to see it. I don't think that that is a requirement for all women or men for that matter who are in relationships with men. I don't think that that's a requirement necessarily, but I do think it's a nice touch because it shows that you care for your partner. And I love seeing that. So Shay and Annabelle, they get to
Mm-hmm.
Shay's home. He shows Annabelle his daughter, um, excuse me, his daughter Allison's home, which is like right next door to his. Um, Allison and her two children, River, and she has a son. They're actually at the house already. Not sure exactly why they're at the house. I don't know if they were out the house because production wanted them at the house, so that's where they have their first meeting in person, or whatever the
No,
case might be. Or
that's
it
where
could be that
that's where that's where production wanted him at. Mm-hmm.
that's what I would assume. But it
Yeah.
could be that Allison's over her dad's house all the time. Who knows? But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so Annabelle gets into the home. She sees that. Well, Annabelle says that it looks a mess. To me, it really didn't look that junky. There were toys all over the floor. The dogs were running around. Beautiful dogs, by the way, Shay. I love your dogs. The dogs look gorgeous. I'm not sure exactly what breed they are, but they look like really nice dogs. But anyway, so Annabelle comes in. I mean, she tries to hug River, who's like the older child, but she's not too keen on hugging Annabelle. And then she goes over to the boy grandchild of Shay's, and next thing we know, I'm sorry, this gas, y'all. Next thing we know, the boy is in Annabelle's arms. So Annabelle is holding the boy in her arms, and they're doing that. Then Shay gives Annabelle the full tour, shows her the kitchen, shows her the oven. Apparently, Annabelle has never used an oven because I guess they don't have ovens in the Philippines, or at least she didn't have one in her house. He shows her the bedroom. Shay has 4 heads of deers in his bedroom, and I'm not like a superstitious person or anything of that nature. I'm a spiritual person, but not a superstitious person. But
No,
at the
me
same
neither.
time, I don't know if I want to sleep in a room with a whole bunch of dead heads of animals in the room. Like,
No, thank you. No,
I'm
thank you.
sorry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not interested in that whatsoever. And then Shay has got some gifts for Annabelle. He got her some diamond earrings. He got her a bracelet, I think. he got her a necklace. And Allison's looking over in the corner. The whole time this scene is going on, I'm like, why is Allison in this room with them? Like, why is she in the room? I don't understand why she's here. Like,
Allison shouldn't have been there.
I don't get why she's in the room with them. Like, could she not have stayed in the living room or in the kitchen? Did she have to follow them into the bedroom? Allison's over there. She's so jealous that her father is buying all this stuff for Annabelle. And Allison's like, well, you don't buy that kind of stuff for me. Well, you're grown. You're my daughter. We don't have the same type of relationship that I have with my soon to be wife over here. So I I I hope that Allison wasn't serious when she said that she was, a little bit jaded by the fact that her father was getting Annabelle all this stuff. Like, I can kind of understand, if he hasn't gotten her anything in a long time, maybe she has a right to have to feel a way about it. But I don't agree with her being upset with Shay buying Annabelle all these things. And so then Allison goes to leave and she asks Shay for a couple of dollars. And Shay gives her the money, no questions asked. And the look on Annabelle's face when Allison asked Shay for money was priceless to me. I automatically knew that Annabelle was not here for it. And I have a feeling, and then later on, after Allison leaves out of the house, Annabelle asks Shay, "Why are you giving her money? She's grown. She's a grown woman. Does she pay rent?" No, she does not pay rent. Shay does not make her pay rent. I'm assuming that Shay bought the home that Allison is living in, so he just allowed her to stay there and live there. But Annabelle does not like the fact that Shay is still seems to be supporting his grown daughter, which I completely understand, and especially coming from, I guess, her culture. Maybe they don't do that.
They don't do that.
But
They don't do that there.
it is what it is. But I'm so glad that Annabelle spoke up. And Annabelle is not going to hold her tongue. And I appreciate that about Annabelle. Annabelle's a grown woman. She's a mature woman. She knows what she wants. She knows what she likes. She knows what she doesn't like. And she's going to speak up about it. And I appreciate that about Annabelle. Auntie Robin says Shay and Annabelle are age appropriate. Absolutely, I agree. And seem to really enjoy each other. I like them as a couple so far. I could agree wholeheartedly with that, Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin also says, I'm sorry, April says, I'm getting April and Auntie Robin mixed up. I'm so sorry, you guys. April says, I agree. I can go without the tub scenes and the toenail clipping. You know, I,
It doesn't bother me.
I personally don't mind it, but I can
I don't
see
mind
why
it.
some people might be uncomfortable with watching that type of stuff. Like, if you don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. That's just you. It's okay. Different strokes for different folks. Auntie
Right.
Robin says Shay's daughter. I'm not sure about her role. Me either. A part of me feels like she's encouraged by production exactly to instigate. There is a way to tell a story without overt conflict. I agree wholeheartedly, Auntie
Thank
Robin.
you, Andrew Robin.
Like I said, when they were in the bedroom, I was like, why is Allison in the room with them? Like, why is she here? I don't understand. I don't understand. April also says, with that being said, his grown kids should stay out of his grown man business. Agreed. Just my opinion. You're completely right, April. I completely agree with you. Uh, it is what it is. I agree with you, April. Auntie Robin says, not gotten anything in a long time. Hell, she lives rent free in a whole house. Exactly, Auntie Robin. She seems like Annabelle called her a spoiled brat. She's definitely fitting the bill for sure as far as being a spoiled brat is concerned. And then April says, I'm sorry, Auntie Robin says to April, um, Joe Nathan says my name so often because, as you can see, I'm very opinionated. Absolutely, that is true, Auntie Robin. Because I'm just expecting to have to say your name every time. Dustin, what are your thoughts on Shay and Annabelle? Do you think there's going to be any resolution in this whole thing about Shay giving Allison so much money and
No, I don't. I don't think. I don't think there's going to be any. I don't think there's going to be any resolution in this season. I think that. I
mm,
think that. I think this show has already been filmed. I think the only thing that I see resolution. It might be in the tell-all, um,
Mm.
but honestly, I don't think there's going to be any resolution between Annabelle and his daughter. No, thank you.
Gotcha. Do you at least like them as a couple?
I do. I
Okay.
hope I hope they work out. But as I always say, that I hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
For sure, absolutely. And April says, no worries. Awesome, 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 awesome. So let's move on to the next couple. Who we gonna talk about next? Who we gonna talk about next? Let's talk. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Debbie and Mito.
Oh, gee, I don't even where to begin with this couple.
So, um, so Debbie's at the airport. Her
Hmm.
daughter drove her to the airport, and she's waiting on Mito to show up. This entire time, they're showing that it's been an hour since his plane has landed. It's been an hour and a half since his plane has landed. I knew that Mito was going to show up. I knew it. Like I told myself, I bet money on Mito showing up because all this anticipation, like they always try to do this dramatic type thing to make it seem like it's going to go one way when it's obviously going to go the other way. So, it is what it is. And I really thought that it was going to be hard for me to see Mito and Debbie kissing, but thankfully I had no issue with it whatsoever. I think the reason why is because I'm really not that attracted to Mito. Um,
Neither am I.
even though they have that age gap, and a lot of times it's the age gap couples I have an issue with seeing kissing, but and maybe it's also because I like Debbie as well. I do like Debbie quite a bit. So she got him flowers, you know what I'm saying? It was a really nice meeting at the airport. They seem to get along very well. However, in the preview for the next episode, things do not seem to be going well.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what Mito's motives are in being with Debbie because when
Hmm.
they were standing side by side at the airport talking to the camera, I'm like, this does not look like a couple at all. Like, they do not seem like
Well,
people in a relationship. They do not seem like people in love. I'm not seeing connection. I'm not seeing chemistry. I'm seeing nothing between these two. And I don't know why it is that Mito decided to be with Debbie. I don't know if we'll ever find that out, but they have me confused. Dustin, what are your thoughts on Debbie and Mito? Do you have an idea of why Mito might be with Debbie?
I think the only reason, I think the only reason why they could be together is for the green card.
Mm,
I get the green card vibes from this couple, and I'll tell you why.
mm,
He wants to be an actor, so he's gonna get he thinks that he's gonna get it so easy in the United States. It's not easy to get any sort of job here in the United States. You still got to work for it, Jonathan. You got to work for it every day. So you think you're gonna make it so easy here in the United States to be an actor? I'll tell you right now, I think it'll be so easy like you think it's gonna be. Hmm.
right. Auntie Robin says the movie star in quotations. Auntie Robin, when the producers asked him to do like an acting scene on the confessional, first of all, his introduction to the confessional, I'm here, like, this man is here to be on TV. This man is here to be discovered. This man is here for eyes of people in the upper echelon and production and movies and TVs seeing him. He wants to be noticed. He wants to be seen. So, anyways, when he was doing those lines as far as him quote acting, it wasn't very believable to me. It wasn't. I don't know if he's just kidding. I love his personality. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love what he brings to the show. It's just that I don't
Well,
have. I,
he gives he also gives me want to be on uh, TV for a very long time. So
yeah,
I think we're not only going to see him on the regular 90 Day Fiance, but we're going to see him on the spinoffs of 90 Day Fiance. Uh, you know, they have
yeah.
so many they have so many shows that we can see these people on. Um, he puts me on the mind of somebody that wants to be on the camera a lot. Hmm.
I would agree with that. When they were in a confessional together, Mito asked, asked Debbie if Will Smith and Tom Cruise knew he was in America. And she said, I
Oh,
reached out to them, but, they haven't
oh,
gotten back to me yet. Like, Debbie knows what's going on. Like, you cannot tell me that Debbie does not know the reason why Mito's here in America. Like, she knows that he wants to be here to be an actor. And maybe
hmm
he's just using her, like you said, Dustin, to get the green card. I
right.
just don't
I think
understand.
that I think that I think because once you get the green card, Jonathan, he can do anything, and you don't need her. But I think that she's gonna have a rude awakening. I can already see the red flags just on this couple. I can see it. I can feel it. So I had to prepare myself for what I can feel coming because I can feel it coming in right now. We're only getting started, but I can feel changes coming with this couple. Hmm.
Yeah, my thing is, if Mito just simply wanted to live in America, he could have found a woman who was maybe closer to his age that he could possibly fall in love with. But I have a feeling that he got with Debbie because he either he or Debbie knew that they had a chance of being on 90 Day Fiance,
Mm.
and they said, "This is our chance to be on
I think
TV." That's
I
that's
think
just my
I think it
thoughts.
I think it was him. I don't think I think it was I don't think it was so much Debbie. I think it was him trying to get on the 90 Day phone too.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with their relationship later on down the line, but I clearly don't see them working out like at all. I don't see them working whatsoever. But we'll see what happens. April says, "Gotta go cook dinner. Talk to you later." All right, April. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you next week, boo.
Hmm.
But yeah, eh, they just don't seem like a couple to me. They just do simply do not seem like a couple to me. So let's move on to our newest couple being Paula and Thomas. So Paula's from Brazil. Paula is a professional piercer. She has a piercing business, which seems to be like when I saw the entrance of her piercing business, I was like, oh, this doesn't look like your, naughty heads. We got naughty heads here in Columbia, South Carolina. That's the piercing place where I got my piercings when after I turned 18. Um, but her piercing place looked very expensive. It looked like it
Hmm.
was really like really upper echelon type thing. Like it looked really good. Like Paula's making her money in Brazil.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think Thomas ever explained what he does for a living. I don't remember him saying what he does for a living, so I don't know what he does. He's in an extremely small apartment. He calls his bed his couch.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a red flag for me.
I don't understand what that's about, but okay. And Thomas is, I think he's what? How old is he? I think Thomas is like 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 30,
He he
30
he
something.
he's a little bit older to me. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, he showed us his dining room table, which is just like a table that kindergartners would sit at to eat snacks. Like it's his apartment is very like single man's apartment.
Right.
I didn't even see the bathroom in there, but I guess maybe
He
it's
did,
next to his closet. I'm not sure.
he didn't show that part.
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't show bathrooms when they're on TV either. But Paula tells us that she has a lot of little tiny miniature things that she likes to collect and things of that nature. Her favorite one is one of a miniature of a toilet with plastic poop in it. I don't know why she had to show us that, but okay, girl. Um, and it's interesting to see Paula and Thomas together because once again, they seem like complete opposites to me. And Paula seems to be a very demanding type of woman, which,
Mhm.
there's no issue with that. If that's your personality, so be it. However, I don't know how that's going to work out with Thomas. And Paula clearly has it going on in Brazil, and she really clearly does not need Thomas for anything. I mean, she can do whatever it is that she wants at this moment
Mhm.
because her piercing place looks like it's making the money, honey. Okay,
Yeah,
so clearly Paula does not need Thomas. So I don't I don't know how this is going to go.
I don't know either.
I haven't seen enough of them to decide whether I can root for them or not necessarily. However, I Thomas is a really nice guy. I do like Thomas. I like that he's a little quirky. I like that he's, his own individual. But once again, like I don't see how he and Paula really connect. I don't know what brings them together. And that's confusing for me. And then when we saw for the preview for the next episode, Paula has an issue with the because Thomas greeted Paula at the airport with a huge Brazilian flag, made her some beans and rice and tofu. He says that he is a meat eater, but Paula is a vegetarian, so she won't be able to eat his meat. But she said that the beans were really good, so I guess that's a good thing that he can at least cook. Um, so yeah, let me see here. We have somebody new in the chat, Olivia O-07K. I'm just gonna call you Olivia, okay?
Hi,
Olivia
Olivia.
says she's just his ticket in. His
Yeah,
ticket into where? His ticket onto the show? Or what do you mean by his ticket in? Let me know down in the comments, Olivia.
his ticket on the show. That's what she means.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that's what she
Mm,
meant. And then
yeah.
Olivia also says down here in the comments, her saying she always wanted to marry a gringo was a sign. And I don't even know what that is, Olivia. I have no idea what that is. And probably should have asked Google before I started the show, but I don't know what that is. If you can tell me, please do. And then Olivia also says, like she's using him for fame. It does seem like Paula would be one of those types who would want to get on TV just have the fame and fortune or whatever the case might be. So who knows, but Thomas is a nice guy, and I do enjoy seeing him on camera, and I love that he really stands in who he is, and makes no excuses about it whatsoever. Olivia also says it's the Latin way of saying white dude. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that insight, Olivia, because I had no idea what that was. Auntie Robin also says a gringo is a white person. Thank you so much for that, Auntie Robin, as well. Y'all are educating your boy today, and I appreciate it so much. I really, really do. Okay. And then also Olivia says basically any white guy would do. Gotcha. Okay. So Miss Paula didn't care about the type of guy she was with. Um, just any white man will do. I guess if it works for her, it works for her, child. Oh my gosh, Mamir is here. Hey, Mamir. So glad that you're here, boo. Mamir says, hey, everyone, finally catching you guys live. I'm so glad that you caught us live. We're talking about 90 Day Fiance Season 12, Episode 3.
Hey,
So,
Mamir.
Dustin, what are your thoughts on Paula and Thomas?
I like so far. So far, I like him so far, but we'll find out what the next episodes, next few episodes look like. I don't really have an opinion on them so far because it's a new couple. So we'll see what happens next week.
Do they at least seem compatible to you? Because to me, they don't seem like they would like genuinely get along. Like I don't know if they like any things in common or like I don't think they really seem like that compatible to me. Do they seem compatible to you?
Not really.
Yeah, not really to me either. So, we'll see what happens with this couple as time goes on. But let's move on to our final couple here. And we have Raj and Mallory. So here's the thing. I do like Raj. I love Raj.
I
I
like Rush.
really
I love. Yeah, I do like Rush. Yeah.
I love seeing
Yeah.
him with his family this episode. I love seeing the connection that he has with his mother. They're clearly very close to each other. His mother said that she'll always see him as the little boy that she saw growing up, and that was so beautiful. I think he had two brothers and a sister. They all seem to be a very tight knit family unit. I love seeing that. I love how much Marissa was embraced by Rosh's family. I love that they welcomed her with open arms. Mallory talked about meeting Rosh's mother for the first time, and it was a very pleasant experience for her, and that's great. So they can't, since they're not going to be able to see them get married, then they're going to do some traditional things for preparation of a marriage while they're here. So he
Sure.
has to drink coffee with salt in it. And I've seen another couple actually do this in a previous season of 90 Day Fiance. So this is clearly a thing that they do. I believe Rosh is from Turkey. Yes, he's from Turkey. So I do remember seeing this on 90 Day Fiance before, how they drink the coffee with the salt in it. Me personally, I'm not a coffee drinker whatsoever, so I don't want to drink coffee in any way, shape, or form. But it was clearly not a pleasant experience for Rosh,
No.
as he's drinking the coffee with the salt in it. But they leave Rosh's family, and then they get on their way to the airport. And before they get to the airport, Rosh's brother, and his father is there as well. Rosh's
Yeah.
brother, no, I can't remember whether his father, I think his father was there.
His
And
father
so
was there. Mhm.
Ross's brother asked him, are you still going to be able, since you're not going to be working, are you still going to be able to help our parents out? Because his parents' home was sort of kind of demolished by an earthquake that happened 2 or 3 years prior to the filming of this show. So they're living in a tent at this moment. And Rosh says that he has not had this conversation with Mallory yet. I don't know if he was waiting to have this conversation because they're on a TV show and he wanted to make a moment out of it, or is he genuinely nervous about having this conversation with Mallory? Auntie Robin says down in the comments that was Shekinah with the salt coffee. Okay, thank you so much for that, Auntie Robin. I knew I'd remembered seeing that before.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and he has this conversation with Mallory, and she's like, well, I have a mortgage to pay for, I have a car note to pay for. Once I get paid, like all my money is pretty much gone at that point. So, you know, um, they're
Well, I
they're
don't
having
think
a little bit of a conflict with that. Go ahead, Dustin.
I don't think he quite understands how it works in I think he's so used to how it works in his country. I don't think he understands how it works in the United States. As we know, everything is more expensive in the United States. Everything is a lot more expensive, especially these days in this country because of 47. I won't say the name, but you know what I mean, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Uh, I think a lot of things are a lot more expensive here in the United States of America, and I don't think that he understands that.
Right. It doesn't seem that way. Let me see here. But hopefully they can have a discussion about that, and hopefully they'll be able to get onto the on the other side of that as well. But while they were still in Turkey, and they were talking to Rash's friends, um, we find out that Mallory has an ex situationship, we'll call it, with a man named Brandon. She says that they were friends with benefits, but they have not had sexual relations in a while. And this is the couple, Auntie Robin, that I'm thinking is giving me a little bit of Laura and Beer Khan, because I have a
Yes.
feeling that Mallory still has feelings for Brandon, still possibly wants to be in a physical relationship with him, physical as in sexual relationship with him. That's what I'm getting so far. Now, we haven't heard Brandon say a word. We haven't even seen Brandon on camera. We did see him in the preview for the next episode, but we haven't gotten a chance to really get an idea of who Brandon is at his core. And I hope that this does not cause a rift between Rosh and Mallory.
Hmm.
But what I want to understand is whether Mallory is still romantically interested in Brandon, whether that be just strictly sexually or an actual relationship with him. It seems as though she is really into Rosh. She is really in love with Rosh. It does seem to be that way so far, but you can be in love with two people at the same time. But she said she'd never been in an actual relationship with Brandon. It had only been sexual. So I hope that Mallory isn't bringing Brandon in as a way to cause conflict in her relationship, the way that Laura did with Beer Khan and Michael. I don't want to see that again. I really don't want to see that again. Dustin, are you thinking the same way that I'm thinking? Are you thinking that Mallory possibly still has feelings romantically for Brandon and she's bringing him in just to,
Yes,
just
I
to have
did.
some drama?
I definitely do, and I hope that it's not that way, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, we will definitely find out for sure. I do like Mallory though and Raj together. They're probably my second favorite couple so far. Just like Shay and Annabelle, they're the same age. I believe they're both 34, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get back to my notes. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that they're both 34.
You know, they're 34 years old. 34,
Uh,
35, either one.
uh, Let me see here. No, what did I do? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they're both 29. They're both 29 years old.
I was way off.
So
Sorry about that.
it's okay. It's totally fine. But yeah, I do like Mallory and Raj, and I do hope that they're able to stay together. They just have to communicate. That's all. Like if all Mallory has to do is sit Raj down, and explain to him her actual financial situation currently, so that they can figure out if she will be able to send money to Raj's family. I hope that she doesn't resist doing that just because she doesn't want to, because she does seem to have a heart for his family. I don't know if she's just putting that on as a mask for the cameras, or if she really does have nice feelings about Rash's family. But we'll see as time goes on. But before we get out of here, Dustin, why don't you go ahead and share with the good people your social media contacts real quick?
My social media contacts are Dustin Butler on Facebook, Dustin Butler 700 on Instagram. My TikTok is Dustin Butler 24. As always, I want to thank Jonathan and my whole entire team for being here for me. I love you all very much.
Absolutely. We love you too, Dustin. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee07. That's $JONATHANLEE07. If you are willing to donate to my channel, please be sure to do so. Quick announcement: Jennifer, aka Prophetic Fire Reiki, will not be going live at 8 p.m. tonight. So Jennifer is taking the night off. So please do not be looking for her to go live at 8 p.m. She will not be going live at 8 p.m. Mamir says, "Love you, Dustin." That's so
Love
sweet,
you.
Mamir. And also be on the lookout for my review for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 11, episode 4, that's coming out tonight, as well as my review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow. Be on the lookout for those videos. And also, please join me on Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have an awesome time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join us on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Love you guys for watching. April, Olivia, Mamir, Auntie Robin, Lady Virgo, all you ladies in the comments, thank y'all so much for joining us. I love you girls so much. Thank y'all so much. And I will see you on Thursday night. Y'all have a great night. See y'all
And I
later.
will see
Stay
you.
safe.